Well, I think that's one of the worst cases of chasing my tail with the welder. Just never ending. Okay, I'm going to smooth those off, and in case there are any little pinholes left, I'll just put a little bit of fiberglass filler, just smear the whole area with it. Okay, right ho. Anyway, I'll call that as a repair anyway. Once it's painted both sides and stabilised and sealed, it shouldn't go anywhere. Okay, righto, back in a bit then. I welded all that up and ground it, and I spent so much time chasing my tail with it, I was getting really angry. So I just put a little bit of fiberglass filler over the whole area, just in case there's any tiny little pinholes. It's not quite set, so I won't put some paint on it yet. So that's all sealed up. And I've done the same on this side as well. A little bit messy. I've got to let it harden, and then I can kind of carve it up a bit to, you know, get it nice and flat. I think I should have done that a lot earlier, because I wouldn't have burnt those holes in. I was really just burning holes and then having to try and fill, and then keep going and going and going. I mean, I started off down there and ended up there. My welder isn't very gentle. I welded that piece, and I welded can't even see where it was. Somewhere along here, wasn't it, where I had to weld it? I think it was there, so that looks okay. Can't even see where it was. Yeah, looking good, looking good. I need to put this piece back in, and I think I'll start by trying to fill that and fill that, those two holes there, and then when I offer the piece on, this piece, I can plug weld through there. Back in a bit. Hello. I did a quick weld job on that bit there, and managed to get a couple of beads down the side there where the brazes were. So I touched in that bit there where the fiberglass is. And the other thing I did, I know it's daft, but this hole wasn't round, so I just got a file and filed that round. And I have got the bungs that go in there, so there's a bung to go in there and a bung to go in there, so those bungs can go in. And that's it really. The other little thing I did was just to run a tap through there, and I also ran a tap down through there. This is the petrol tank, where the petrol tank mounts. I put a little bit of fiberglass in that area there where there was a couple of little holes. So yeah, so that's alright. I put a little bit of paint on it. I'm not sure about this bit here. I've put a bit of paint on it, but I hadn't really finished the fiberglass at all, so I'll probably give that a quick sand and give it another bit of paint, because it looks a bit ropey, that does. Okay, I'm going to call it good for today. I'm going to go and have my tea. I'll catch you all later. Cheers then, bye. It's another day. I've been doing a little bit of work. I haven't been filming because I'm, you know, unsure about what I'm doing. But I'm kind of starting to make progress now, so I thought I'd stop and turn the camera on. This is the near side sill, and as you can see, I've drilled 4 holes in it. Up inside here I have a piece of metal that's a right angle piece, and I've put some of those clips on it, and I've got it held in place with a couple of the screws that I like to use, and I'm going to try and weld it to the remnants of the inner sill, and then the idea is that I can clamp the sill in place along here in the same way that I did it on the other side. I want to do it like this because it gives an element of adjustability, plus I know I can pull the sill up hard against the quarter panel. Okay, so from just where that bolt is there, along here, and you know, I can't even get the camera in, all the way down to here, I'm hoping I should be able to get a weld along that edge. I cut off the remnants of the inner sill that were left in that area. Okay, wish me luck then. Let me see if I can get a few beads of weld along that edge there. Earlier I came in and, can you see where you are? You're under the wheel arch. I just got my sanding disc and took all the lumps off that fiberglass. In fact, I ground a lot of it away because it was only there to fill up pinholes. It's completely welded underneath, but there were just a couple of tiny little specks where you could see daylight coming through. So I've put a little bit of red paint on that, and I think it looks okay. If you can sit down past the light there, look, I've welded it in. I did all right actually. I've had to climb inside the car to do it. I'm kneeling down inside the car, but I've got to run all the way along there. Although that metal looks rusty, it's quite relatively sound, and I was able to run a grinder along the edge, so that's bridge piece's support is welded in now. The sill will wedge between the quarter and that piece. Okay, I'll have a go at fitting the sill then and see how it lines up. Hello, I'll just show you down there. I'm not really very happy with them bolts, but I feel that they can do a decent job of just holding things in place while I work on everything else. And what I'll do, I'll prepare it for some plug welds in between, and I'll prepare this for plug welds into the sill, and the sill for plug welds into the piece that I welded on. So I'll probably end up welding it, but while I'm working on it, that's really good for holding it in place. And I might rework the other side for welds as well. Okay, it doesn't look too bad, the alignment with the quarter. So I'm going to do the same as I did on the other side. I need to fabricate, I need to repair the wing, make an inner piece, and then weld the sill on. But that's got the first, you know, throw it on there, initial throw job. And you can see also where I need to trim off the inner sill. It looks like I've come down a bit low with the inner piece. I'll have to trim that a little bit tight there. This door isn't really much to, you know, go by, but yeah, let's start working towards getting this side all repaired here. I've got a little bit of work to do there before I can weld this. And I want to put that strengthening piece on the inside as well, because Ford deleted these holes on this model, so I think having an extra strengthening piece on the inside, as well as my new inner sill, will, you know, still be a good idea. Because if you remember, I put that extra strengthening on because I was going to bolt the sill on that side. I ended up welding it on, but soon as I've done it that side, I might as well do it this side as well for what it takes. I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Hello, I'm going to try and reshape the end of this sill. I've just started by flattening this out. And what I'm going to do, I've also just trimmed that a little bit there. I'm going to stretch this to push that out, and I'm going to stretch this all here as well as much as I can. So I'm going to try and stretch all of this to push it all out. I've got some new hammers. I bought these hammers off a friend of mine. He had quite a few sort of spares and things, so he sold me some. He was very kind to sell me those. Finally I knew what I was doing. I think I overdid that then. Not bad, not bad. Let's offer it on and see how it looks on the car. Not too bad. Let's offer it on and see how it looks on the car. Kind of a little bit like it, isn't it? So I've got to blend this a bit here. But yeah, it's come out to almost meet it. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. I think that'll be okay. Let's see, try and put a bolt in or a clamp. Okay. I'm struggling with these bolts. They're just not working. I'm going to just do something different. I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Hello. I'm struggling with my bolts in here and it's pulling the sill too far in, but the actual shape isn't too bad. I've kind of overcompensated lifting this part and it's holding the rest of it down a little bit, but that is well and truly on. And if you can imagine, the sill comes out just a little bit relative to the panel. It'll line up okay, I think. Not perfect, but okay. And I did capture some images of a original car that was for sale on eBay, and I hope that people don't mind, but I've used it as a reference, and I'll flash a couple of images up here which shows the flare, and from this angle the curve coming down like that, down and in. So now what I have to do now is weld a piece of metal on here to broaden this flange up, to make a wider flange on there. So I can do that, and I can utilise that to attach this to that. And you know, all lessons learnt from doing the other side. But by and large, that doesn't look too bad. Yeah, I've got a bit of a shape there. You can see the way I was doing it. I'm no expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I have got a little bit of curve on it, and I've got a bit of a curve coming out there. I've got a bit of a dent there actually, but hey, that's alright. I just hope the relationship at the front of the sill is correct. Yeah, where's that patch panel? Okay, so something's going to need to be reworked, isn't it? You know, blimey, something's miles out. Okay, I'll see how it looks when the when the front wing goes on. You know, where this piece lines up. I'll take a break now because I'm going to go and play snooker, the usual humiliation. Okay, righto. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one then. Cheers, bye. Hello. I've kind of had a little bit more of a bash session on there. Tried to just bring this out a little bit by hammering on there and stretching it. Just hammered it with one of them chisel hammers, stretched it a bit, and then I shrunk that edge to try and put more curve into it. I'm happy with that now. I've got my clamps in place down there, and I've kind of put marks on the sill where I'm going to drill for plug welds, and I was thinking about plug welding that panel, but I probably won't. So I'll probably just put beads along the edge, or probably plug weld it and then catch the panel as I plug weld, and I'll just leave the bolts in anyway. I've clamped underneath and put a mark with a pen along where the sill comes to, so I've got to work out where I can cut it off to now. I'm looking here and can see I've got some minor repairs to do in this area before the sill goes on. What I think I'm going to do now is to put the wing on and start offering the patch panel into place, more or less like I did on the other side. I think it might need quite a bit of rework in this area here, and the sill might need lengthening, I'm not sure yet. Okay, right, let me get on with fitting the wing then, and we'll see where we stand when that goes on. Okay, I'll see you in a bit then, bye. Okay, to quote Scott at Cold War Motors, that's the first light toss there on the front wing. So that's, I've thrown it on. I did my best to try and fit it in this area here. I've got the gap quite tight there. It fits okay. A little bit wide here maybe, but I can push it over a little bit probably, or maybe just move the bonnet a little bit. These are the remnants of a poorly you know, a poorly done patch. So I suppose I will get the wire brush and remove all that there. Well, I'm saying wire brush because this is filler. That'll come out, you see. And there's some pop rivets and things. So I'll get that patch off and then offer the patch panel in. There's the patch panel. I'll get that other one out of the way first, and I'll put a bend on that bottom face there so that it fits up against the inner sill. Okay, righto. You don't need to see me take that off. I'll bring you back in a little bit when I've got more to show. Hello. Right. There's my patch. I've tried to work it a bit here. I've bent it at the bottom. I've straightened that piece out because I've got a gap there. And as you can see, it doesn't fit very well here. It kind of half fits there. And I've got a dent there because I was just bending that. I'll put a dent in it there. I was trying to put more shape in there, which I can't really do. The problem is with this is that this is all dented in here. This is all dented. I think that is too deep there. Because if you kind of bring your thumb down here, it suddenly goes deeper there. I think this might want to be kind of brought forward and this out. I think I might want to make like an arbitrary cut where I want to cut it off and try and dolly this out and bring this forward, shallow this a bit, shallow this out a bit here. You can see what a mess I've made. You're just grinding that bit of filler. What a blooming mess. Anyway, it is what it is. Oh well, I can do nothing but just try and do my best. Righto. Leave it with me then, and I'll have a think about how I'm going to go about trying to repair it. Righto, back in a bit then. Hello. I've been working on that patch panel there, and I've put more shape into it there somehow, knocking it over that big round former in the vise there, and kind of stretching it a bit as well, trying to stretch it. I don't know if I've done the right thing or not, but it's not a mile off fitting. I'm not in the slightest bit happy with it. I feel like it wants to rotate a little bit to push that back end back, because as you can see, even though I've straightened out the flange, it only just about meets the sill. I think I'm going to have a break because I don't want to rush into fitting it if it doesn't fit. I suppose at the end of the day you just have to say, well, do your best and just put some filler on it. You know, it ain't like the rest of it's mint, is it? Look at the front. That's all smashed to bits. Okay. Time for a cup of tea and a piece of cake. And then I'll have a think. And I'll look at my video footage and see if it inspires me. But if I want to draw a positive from this little session, I think the fit of the rear part of the sill is okay. I think I've come out a little bit too far with this piece. It might be that I could put a little slit here and a little slit there and just knock it in slightly and re-weld it. There's only a little step there though. Yeah, it's only a tiny step. Probably not worth worrying about. Okay, right. Cup of tea, piece of cake, come back later. Okay, I'll catch you later then. Cheers then, bye. Hello, look, here's Meggie. Hello Meg, but look down there. That's Ruby. She's 13 weeks. And they're just learning to try and rub along together. We've had Ruby a week now. We're just playing ball. Ruby's taking her aggression out on the weeds, I'm afraid. Okay, Meg. Come here, Meg. Good girl. This is a two-handed job, this is. Ooh, get the ball. There you go. Now, if you're wondering exactly what Ruby is, her dad is a Weimaraner and her mum is a Bracco Italiano, a breed that I'm not very familiar with, but that's what she is. So I don't know quite what she's going to look like when she's big. She's got the sort of long body of the Bracco, but the smooth fur of the Weimaraner. But the Bracco is a light colour, so I don't know where this dark gene has come from. Good girl, Meg. Should we get play ball a bit more? Come here then. Come here. That's it. Good girl. Oh. Oh. Okay. That's enough anyway. There's a little introduction to the new little dog. I imagine we'll... Oh, hello, baby. Good old Ruby. Ruby Tuesday. Her name is Ruby Tuesday. And there's Meggie. Good girls. Catch you next time. Bye. Hello. I'm working on this patch panel. tried to put a bit more shape into it down there, and I'm trying to blend that shape out without it having a crease, but I'm not doing very well. It kind of offers in there, but it's kind of standing, out here. But it just occurred to me that if I offer it here, for instance, where the shape is a little bit more natural, and there, it's not actually too bad. So I'm thinking that the reason it doesn't fit very well here is because the wing is out of shape. So I'm going to try and massage the wing a little bit, get the wing a bit better. I've taken a measurement from the front edge of the sill to the rear edge of the door opening, and it is within 1 millimetre both sides, so it's not like the sill is short. I think this patch has been made a bit short. I don't know if that is the best way to do that, or would I be better to you know, cut it here and let a piece in so that it can fold round. That might be better actually, because I can't fold this round. Let's try and get this to fit the wing a bit better. Okay, I'll take the wing off then and have a go. Okay, back in a bit. I'm trying out this new light. Hang on. So, what I've done, I've tilted it a bit, brought it down at the front, up at the back. I've got a little bit of an overlap there because I've gained, you know, metal by tilting it. This doesn't look too bad. I did have to force that a little bit there. That could come, you know, slightly this way. I can massage that edge there. The line of the wing going down isn't too bad. You know, at least it flows. It might not be exactly correct, but at least it flows. The only thing that isn't quite right, unless I decide it is okay, is the lower edge. As it goes forward, the wing dips down relative to the sill. Maybe if I can, as this comes along, this goes down. In reality, it would probably be virtually unnoticeable. But I could refold this edge here a little bit, tuck this under a little bit earlier here, adjust it there. I think that might be the best sort of compromise. Let's go with that then and see how I get on. Righto, back in a bit. I've got that to about the best that I can get. It looks better, having reformed that flange there, that bend. I've rebent that one there as well. I've scribed along there. Oops, I've scribed along there. And I've gone down the back of there and scribed up here where the sill touches the back of this. So I'm hoping I can put that bend back in again. And I'm a little bit tight there, but to be honest, I don't know the shape that this needs to be. This will move across a tiny bit when I cut that there. But this can be pushed, rolled back a little bit. Okay, I'm going to take it off now and, oh, yeah, I'll take it off now and, you know, have a look at it. Okay, back in a little bit. Hello, right. I've got it fitting about as good as I can get it. I cut the metal away there. I've joddled it along there. And I kind of bent the metal back down there. Just in the attempt to get a decent fit. I am having to push that a little bit. Maybe I ought to try and just bend this bit here a little bit just to get that in. Yeah, I think I'll give it one final go at trying to get it to touch better, and then I'll weld it in. I've reshaped that flange there, and it kind of matches okay. Kinda. I think I can, you know, if I just get a couple of tacks in, I can then take it over there and weld it a bit better. Okay, right. Leave it with me then, and I'll give it my best shot. I've got a bit of an interference here, so I thought I wouldn't clamp the bottom while I welded it because I wanted to get this fitting better here. That's not too bad, and I don't want to rush it. I'll let it all cool down, and then I'll work my way along. Hello. I set the wing up on here, and I went and did something else. I've been sitting in the house actually, did a Sudoku, but I kept coming out and just doing a little bit. You can see the little bits that I've done, and then I'd go back in and, you know, come back out a bit later. And to be honest, that's not bad really, it feels okay. Yeah, so I'd definitely recommend the long game on these welding jobs when it's outer car body work. Just do a maximum of like 3/4. I'd say 5/8 to be honest. About 5/8 is ideal. You know, about like that. It's a bit longer. It's difficult though to be patient enough to do it. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can bring this surface out a little bit to clear that area where it's fouling. I'll have a play with it, then I'll offer it back up again, see how it looks. Okay, right, anyway, I just thought I'd show you that and tell you how I did it. Okay, yeah, pleased with that. Looks okay. Righto, back in a bit then. Hello, right, I've offered the wing into place. It's not looking too bad. A little bit tight here maybe, but I can kind of roll that edge down a bit. I might have it pulled in too tight at the bottom as well. This feels pretty good to be honest. I've got to grind it. Yes, okay. It was touching there, and you can see where I drew put a little mark on it. Maybe you can. I just tapped this a little bit to knock it in, but I also used a leather covered wooden, I don't know what you'd call it, a bumper or something that my friend gave me. And I put this area here down on that stool. You can see the wooden thing on the top. And I gave it a few sound whacks in this area here, and there's clearance there now. So to be honest, considering what I started with, I don't think that's a bad job really. I just made a small adjustment. I just moved it forward slightly and up, and it fits okay now. It aligns better to that. Bear in mind it can all be pushed and pulled about when it's finally fitted. I haven't clamped this bit down because it would pull it in too far. But yeah, it's looking pretty good, to be honest. So I need to basically copy what I did on the other side now. I might even be able to use the same pattern. And I can put a bit of strengthening down the sill as well. But yeah, I think that's pretty good for today's effort. I know it's only a little job, but you know, blimey, you can offer it up 100 times before you're happy with it. It'd be interesting to know what the really expensive repair panels are like by comparison. Yeah, the line at the bottom of the sill is kind of okay, I think. Yeah, I think that's okay. I'm going to leave it at that then for now. I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Hello. Right, this is my piece of paper that I laid into that wing, and that's squared, you know, it's where I want like a raised section. So what I've done is just kind of, instead of cutting a piece of metal to the shape, I thought, well, I'll have a go at raising a section in a piece of metal where I've got more metal around for better control. So there's a piece of metal with a raised section in it. So what I'll do now is I will, and basically I use this square hammer and just kind of got it across the jaws of the vise, bashed it, and then got it like that, bashed it there, and then sort of use this, which is again is another example of using your press to sort of hammer it flat, and then kind of hammer it flat in there as well. You know, just kind of bash, 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 bash. Because obviously it was all knocked out of shape round here, but if you can bash it enough, it'll, you know, you can kind of get it back a bit. So that's not too bad. So I'm going to try and make my infill piece in one piece, if that makes sense. Let me do a bit more bashing and then I'll try and make it into a filler piece. Hello. Quite amazingly, it seems to fit quite well. It seems to fit quite well. Purely because, you know, I got the experience of doing the other side, so I kind of knew what I needed to do. I think I'll just put a little tack down there somewhere and then offer it on and get my location for my clip there. I went down here and drilled the hole for the bolt to come through. I also found the templates from the other side for the metal piece that goes here. Yeah, so hopefully should be able to progress that then. Okay, it's looking promising. I'm quite pleased with how that came out. I think it was important to do the indentation into a larger piece of metal and then cut the shape out around the indentation. I might just put a quick tack on it now and throw it on and see how it looks. Okay, it doesn't fit as well now as it did before, so there's something in that inner piece that is interfering and it's hard for me to tell what it is. I've got an idea, I think I might know where it is. So there's nothing interfering down there. It's, yeah, okay. There's nothing interfering down there, so that's not too bad. It must be up around here. I'll whiz it off again and have a quick look. It might be something to do with this piece here. Might just cut this off. Well, cutting that little piece off has allowed it to come up into place. I remember on the other side it's very tight in that area. Yes, it's fitting well. I can create more clearance here when I fold this edge over, when I roll this edge. This is looking okay, and you can see the ghost mark there of the original fold. You can see that that was, well, yeah, it was what it was. But I snuck another 1/4 inch there by refolding it. But I'd say that's looking pretty good. It's pretty solid as well, to be honest. Yeah, not too bad. If anything, I'd say it's a bit low there. I might be able to bump that out a bit. Don't know. I might have gone a bit mad when if anything, I would say it's a little bit low there. I might have gone a bit mad when I was bumping this here. Maybe I can bump it up a bit, get it out a bit. But, you know, bloody hell. But, you know, considering what I had, what I started with, what I got to work with, that's not bad. And I'm pleased to be able to have made that piece in one piece. So tomorrow I can put, you know, something like an Allen key or something, what I used before, down the hole and get a mark on my piece that I've just made where the bolt needs to go, and then I can drill that, file the thing for the clip, fit the clip, and then fold the edges and weld it all in. That's taken place really well. I've done all that today, and I've spent a lot of time in the house as well today looking after the dogs, so yeah, not bad. And that's why I went and did a Sudoku when I was doing this, because I just went and did the Sudoku. I came in every 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes, and welded that. Come out well, really. You know, minimal rework required. Okay, that's enough for today's session. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers then, bye.